The person who seems the most confident around you is often the most afraid of you. Here's the part nobody tells you about that. The signs are quiet. They show up in small moments you probably brushed off before. By the end of this, you will be able to spot them instantly, in real time, in almost any room. There are 5 signs coming, and the 5th one is the one people overlook the most. Most people assume intimidation looks loud, yelling, insults, aggressive body language, but that is rarely how it shows up. Most people miss the quiet version completely because they are trained to look for the wrong signals. The people who read others well do something different. They watch behavior, not words. So plant this in your mind now. The last sign on this list is the one that changes how you see every interaction after today. 1. They overcorrect around you. Most people relax around someone they see as harmless, but when someone feels threatened by you, they overcorrect. They laugh a little too fast at your jokes or agree with you a little too quickly. Watch for someone who mirrors your opinions before they've even thought about them, or who suddenly gets more polite the moment you walk in. This happens because the brain treats social threat like physical threat, and overcorrecting is a built-in way to avoid conflict. Keep this one in mind because the next sign builds directly on it. 2. They avoid direct eye contact. Here's something most people get backwards. They think avoiding eye contact means someone is shy or uninterested, but when it happens specifically around you and nowhere else, it usually means something different. Notice if a person holds steady eye contact with everyone else in the room but glances away the moment you speak. This happens because sustained eye contact under perceived pressure feels exposing, so the brain looks for an exit. Save this next one because it is one most people never figure out. 3. They talk more when you're quiet. Watch what happens the next time you stay silent in a group. Most people fill silence to keep things comfortable, but someone who feels intimidated by you will fill it faster and talk longer than usual, almost like the silence itself feels like pressure. This happens because your calm presence reads as control, and their nervous system tries to close that gap with words. This connects straight back to the overcorrecting you just learned, and it gets even clearer with the next sign. 4. They bring up your achievements unprompted. Pay attention to someone who mentions your success, your title, or something you accomplished without you ever bringing it up. Most people assume this is a compliment. Sometimes it is. But when it happens repeatedly and feels slightly forced, it often means they're measuring themselves against you out loud. This happens because comparison is the mind's way of managing a perceived status gap. Notice how often this shows up right before the final sign appears. 5. They test you in small, low-risk ways. This is the one almost nobody catches. Watch for small jabs disguised as jokes, minor challenges to your opinion, or tiny pushes to see how you react. Most people think this is just teasing, but it's often a low-risk way to check whether you'll push back. The method here is simple. Stay calm, don't defend yourself, and let the moment pass without reacting. This works because a lack of reaction removes the payoff they were testing for, and the testing usually stops soon after. This is the sign that ties every other one together. Once you start noticing this, the other 4 signs on this list become almost impossible to miss. When someone overcorrects, they're managing a threat. When they avoid your eyes, they are avoiding pressure. When they fill your silence, your calm is doing the work. When they mention your wins unprompted, they are measuring themselves against you. When they test you quietly, they are checking your reaction before deciding how to treat you. Pick just one of these signs and watch for it this week, instead of trying to track all 5 at once. Subscribe now because spotting these patterns gets easier every time a new video breaks one down. Drop a comment naming which sign you have noticed most in your own life, since that question gets read and answered often. You already see people differently than you did 5 minutes ago, and that shift stays with you long after this video ends.